Hello friends, and welcome to Fishcraft. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so very much. And my horse. I appreciate my horse. It is going to be a very busy day for me because unfortunately, I've spent the whole week fishing. I haven't done anything. So I don't have very long to record, which is totally fine with me. We'll figure it out as we go, like usual, I suppose. But just to give you a gauge on what's gone wrong here, at the end of last episode, I was at 134,000 fish caught, and I'm currently at 141,997. I might have goofed. I goofed a little bit. I haven't done a single bit of anything except for fishing for 5 days straight now. I need to do something else, and it's not by choice. So I thought maybe I could go around and do some dock filling up of the sorts, because I know we've got this whole section here that I think can hold probably like 7 boats or something like that, and it's completely empty, and this one is super ugly. So I reckon we can just pop a couple boats in here, and we'll call it good. This is, however, going to be a much shorter video than normal, and I know my normal videos are already really short, so this is going to be a doubly short video, which is absolutely fine with me, because despite the video length, or however long it is, I do have really good time making these little videos. So I am sorry if they're shorter, but I do hope, you know, I love it. And I want to go back to fishing, which is exactly what I did, because I had to stop and cook up some food, because pretty much the whole time I was doing my fishing before, I hadn't realized it, but I was living off of raw fish. I couldn't be bothered to stop to actually go make some more food. And after just a little bit of fishing, I've managed to acquire about 6.5 stacks of cooked cod. I think that's what that is, which should hopefully be enough to last at least until the end of this episode. If it's not, then, you know, I guess we're going back to raw fish. We've got a little angler in the water with us. We got 2 of them. Ow! While we're on the topic of anglers, I've got my very first fish that I wanted to add to my little aquarium that I've got inside my boat here, and their name is Bubbles, a cute little red snapper named by Jitterybug. Thank you very much. And also fish. Moving away from the fish-related stuff and on to, I guess, the fish-related stuff. I do have an idea for what kind of boat I would like to make, and I feel like it's gonna be very similar to this one right here, except much smaller. I don't think I've got the time to make one this big. This took almost an entire week of designing and stuff to make. So I reckon I'm just going to make one that's a bit smaller, but of similar design, kind of. And unfortunately for me, I've once again decided to use prismarine as the main block for the boat and stuff. And I guess the warped wood, but that's slightly easier to get. However, I think before I get started on collecting up the resources I need for these couple of boats that I've got in mind, I need to clear out my ender chest, because this is terrible. What do I need 30 sponges for? I did also forget to mention that I got another 5 mending books from my fishing endeavors the past week or so. I don't have a problem. I've got fish. I am also happy to announce that after I've got this new boat put in, I've got one more boat in mind. That's going to be my very first ever attempt at making a real sail. I mean, we've got this one here, but that doesn't look exactly great. It's very still and it's very flat. So I've got plans to make my very first ever flowy movement sail. I don't know how to say it. Moving on. It is, however, going to be very small because I don't have a lot of time once again for this video. So the second boat that I'm making is going to be super small, and it's going to be really cute. It's more of a aesthetic than a functional boat, which is just so shocking that I would build something that has no actual use and is just there because it looks good. I would never do such a thing. That's a lie. Okay, we've just put away all our fish and stuff, so this should hopefully be our ender chest, all organized and stuff. I just need to put these mending books away really quick. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I wonder if I could come up with a word for that, but more Fishcraft related. Fishy wishy finny squishy. Nailed it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a lot of mending books. Which does remind me that there is one more thing I wanted to do before I got started on the resource collecting. I know I'm all over the place. I'm so sorry. But it's something I've been thinking about a lot recently. And it's a pair of boots that I had when I first started doing my fishing and stuff. I used a bunch of my books to make them and stuff. And oh, here they are. The little rain boots from, oh goodness, what was that? Episode 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't remember. I really like these little boots, so I wanted to give them a reason to exist again. So here's my plan. I've been doing a lot of fishing, and I have fished up many books, as you can tell from the entire bookshelf of mending books. I've got a lot of books, and quite a lot of them are Frostwalker books. So I've got a plan to enchant these little rain boots to have Frostwalker on them. Now the problem is Okay, never mind. There's no problem. Let's just apply this really quickly. Yeah, there we go. Swimming in style by not swimming at all. Yeah, I don't really have a reason behind wanting to put Frostwalker on my boots other than it's pretty cool and I haven't used it since like the Xbox 360 days. So I wanted to give my little rain boots a reason to exist, I suppose. We'll just put those in our ender chest. I think one of the main reasons I like the Frostwalker enchantment so much is that it reminds me a lot of maybe like some sort of unseen force, stepping as you step on top of the water, going where you go, acting kind of as a shadow, letting you like traverse the top of the water and stuff without the fear of like falling in. I don't know. It's pretty cool. But I've done too much talking already. I need to hurry up and get these resources collected, so we're gonna do that. And as usual, at the tippity top of that list is Prismarine and Dark Prismarine, because I've got some darker tones I need to add to the building. Oh, and I found some sponges while I was here. I do also think I'm gonna have to start bartering for this Scrying Obsidian here pretty soon, because I've already destroyed all the little portals that are next to my little settlement I've got. However, if I could avoid using all my gold for bartering, that'd be great, because I still need all my blocks of gold. For what, you might be asking? Definitely not for texturing. Nope. While on the topic of texturing, I do still need a bunch of dark oak, which is pretty easy to get. I don't know why I've went and chopped down a whole bunch. I only needed like maybe a stack or so of the stripped logs, but I did replant, so everything's okay. I also just learned that it's nearly impossible to go and collect a bunch of stripped wood if you've got something in your offhand. It just kept on trying to eat the apple. Maybe I just need to eat more apples or something. While we're talking about apples and stuff, I do still also need to go and get just a bunch of bits and bobs for different color blocks that I used for my texturing and stuff, which I'm starting to regret, honestly. I need to not texture as much because there's so many different little blocks that I have to get now, and it's much more difficult than how I used to do things. But that's okay, because I do feel like these new buildings look much better with the new texturing, so it kind of works out. I've been sitting on the ocean floor for a couple minutes now, and I've had a good think, and I'm curious, can you put armor trims on leather boots? And if you can, why have I not done this already? Let's give it a check. But first, we're going to dye these a lighter shade of blue. I think this looks good. Yeah, these are a good color for some boots. Now let's go see if the trim works. So we put the boots, the trim, and the color. It does work! Alright! We got the most decked out leather boots in the world. Let's go see how they look in the sunlight. Yeah, there we go. Those are my rain boots right there. Very snazzy. I love it. And here we are with the rest of the outfit. I really like these boots. They look so good. Unfortunately, though, I have already taken much too long to actually get started on doing something in this video, so I'm just gonna go and gather up the rest of the resources I need for this little boat thing, and we're just gonna pop it down somewhere. And after lots of back and forths, I did decide to actually put it next to the research tower where we keep our little todfish. Mostly because I've already got all kinds of boats and stuff around catfish, so it's hard for me to find the right position to put it without it blocking the view of the other ones. And honestly, I don't think I could have been happier choosing a different spot for this, because it blocks the view of the little research station, which I really don't like the front of. So this works out perfectly. All right, so here is the boat. We have this one's name, I think, is going to be called the Overcast. We've got the Rainy Day over here, which is the bright and bubbly version, super colorful fishy fishmonger's boat. And then over here we've got the Overcast, which is like the gloomy, oily, less colorful, kind of dim version of the boat. You know, it turns out it's actually quite difficult to make something appear very like oily and dirty and stuff. So on my other build over here, the Rainy Day, when I used my Prismarine and like my bluer hues, I went lighter to make the highlights and stuff. Whereas here, I still use the Warped and the Prismarine as the base color, but instead of going brighter and making it like there's light hitting it, I added dark patches to signify that it was oily, or like just crude oil kind of like spilled and splashed on top of it, because I mean, we've got lots of oily plans, so it definitely makes sense, which is also why there's some all over this one. The overall vibe is quite spooky and quite dredge inspired, which seems to be a reoccurring theme so far for my videos, is lots of dredge related stuff. But I have been going back and forth because a lot of the time, you know, I'm feeling pretty happy, right? I don't like the spookiness too much. I want to channel more fish and fishing related stuff and less spooky. So sometimes I go back and forth, and I'm sorry that happens sometimes. But this little boat we've got here is I feel like it's a healthy combination of both my regular bubbly, colorful builds, and also the spooky, kind of eerie, oily vibe that Dredge gives off. Don't know if anybody noticed, but I did end up using tinted glass this time to cover up the frog lights and stuff here, just so that at nighttime, it doesn't completely illuminate the whole boat. Because I felt like it added to the spooky ambiance. I think I've talked already too much about this boat. It's time to move on to even more boat talk, because we still got a whole nother boat we need to build, but it's much smaller and a whole lot happier, that's for sure, because we are building ourselves another tiny little gravy boat here. So it's just gonna be a replicant of this one here, but with the sails down and much smaller. Resource collecting number 1, definitely a bunch of smooth sandstone, which oh my goodness, what is going on? Why is the desert all flowing all over the place? I'm getting sand in my boots. I did also decide to do some fishing while I was waiting for my sandstone to cook, which honestly shouldn't come as a surprise anymore. That's just how these videos go, honestly. Oh, and I really like doing these new time-lapse kind of things where I do the talk over. Is this good? Do you like this? Or should I do the other one? Do please let me know. I only started doing the time-lapses like that because it felt more like a music video than me just doing my thing. So I decided to do quieter music with me just doing my regular talk and stuff, explaining kind of what I've done in the time lapse, which also makes it's really good for explaining things that you didn't have time to clarify earlier on. I quite like it, but it is pretty new. So is this a good thing? Should I keep it? I don't know. You know, it is a good thing though. That little boat I just made. I've completely run out of time for this video, so I've just gone and gathered all the stuff as quickly as I can, and I popped it down. I don't have time for editing. I'm just gonna show you the little boat, and ta-da! Here we go. This is my very first attempt at a functional sailboat. I say functional, but again, this is purely aesthetic. Typical Puddleshine build. No interior yet, but this is the tiny little gravy cup. That's what I'm calling it. Since this one's the gravy boat, this is the little gravy cup. It's got the colors. It's got the big old sail with the Wondercraft colors at the very top. I love it so much, and I'm very proud of this little sail here. I did put my heart and soul into trying to make it look like the wind's blowing on it, and I thank you, RecDraw, for teaching me how to do the modeling tool and stuff with Axiom to try and figure this out. I think it looks really good. I'm very happy with it, and I very, very much look forward to doing more sailboats in the future, because guess what next episode's gonna be? Probably more sailboats. Having found out that I can actually build sails and stuff has been such a relief, because I've only ever been able to build boats with the sails up like this, how it's got it's like poofed upwards onto the pieces of wood. It feels really good being able to do sails down. So honestly, I might try in the future doing some big old pirate ship stuff. I'm not really sure, but I'm really excited for the future. I am really sorry though that this video is shorter than normal. In case you're wondering why it's shorter than normal, it's because I think at the end of last episode I was at 134,000 fish, and I'm currently at 142,000. So that's about 8,000 fish caught just this week. I goofed, and I'm sorry. I'll try to do slightly less fish. No promises. Right, with that being said, I do believe I have run out of time for today's episode. I thank you all so very much for watching this episode of Fishcraft. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye!